right, so if you don't have any requests, my friends, we're going to begin. If you read my chat notes, I have a little bit of a mobility challenge in store for you today, but the reward will always be beautiful stretches and a nice flow. So don't get frustrated, but we're gonna work a little bit with our joints. I like to think about our joint work, it is a challenge, as something that's very functional, fitness oriented for every day. So that when we're moving, let's say we're reaching or picking up a baby or carrying groceries, that our joints will support us and stay really sturdy and healthy. So this challenging work is really important for our long-term health and mobility. Let's get started. Come on back to your yoga space with me, please. Oh, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day. I'm so excited for all of us. I hope y'all have a great weekend if you have to leave early. And we're going to start standing. We'll come down and stretch out really well soon. Let's take our feet a little wider than we would normally stand. Soften our knees and just kind of like a penguin, shift your weight side to side here. Moving a little bit through your knees. And a great way to build energy and release stagnant energy or toxic energy is by shaking. So we're going to shake our arms out really low, so they're feeling really loose and long. And then we'll shake our wrists in all of the funny ways, side to side. Front to back feels extra strange. And if you can, you kind of circle them around, circle them the other way. You're doing this little penguin sway side to side here like you're waddling down your iceberg. And if your thumbs bother you when you shake out your hands, you're welcome to tuck them in towards your palms. You can keep them there and it might feel a little more supportive. We're gonna go a few more swings. You can kind of get your elbows into it if you'd like. We're just doing this to wake up our arms, move some energy. Usually when we get done doing this, we feel a little tingly in the tips of our fingers, and then you know you've really woken up your energy. Take a big breath in while you're swinging or shaking or whatever you call what you're doing. And as you breathe out, we'll start to slow our body down. Oh, do you feel that? I love that tingly feeling. We did it, yogis. Good job. Arms rise. Take a big stretch up and overhead. Take a few wrist circles up here with open, very wide open fingers. Switch that direction of your wrist circling. Working out some snaps and crackles, hopefully. And let's reach up again, but flex our wrists. We're gonna pull our fingers, back of fingers, towards our skull. And then do the opposite. Push the finger pads down towards the floor. Let's try to get our thumbs to work along with the rest of our fingers. Pull back, even your thumbnail. And then push down, even your thumb pad. Nice job, one more. This is a perfect pose for spooky season. It's kind of monstery, isn't it? Let your arms fall, shake them side to side, below your shoulders again. That way they're nice and long, loose and easy. Reach back to the sky on one of these inhales. And let's stretch over to the left side. Get a good grab on your right wrist and lean over here. Take a lift out of your left side body, the lower side, longer, then tip again. Let's make a few fists with our right fingers, our flashing lights, waking up our wrists and our forearms. Keep pulling with your left hand. It's nice to hold on because then you feel how strong you're getting in your forearm. Feel those muscles? Beautiful job. Let's stop our flashing lights. Oof, that gets tiring quick. And take your eyes towards your left baby toe. Now you're reaching on the diagonal, but we're getting into our low back here. Big breath. All the way back to the sky as you exhale. Let your arms fall. We'll shake them out just a couple times. Clasping behind your low back. Right thumb on top. Stretch far away from your chest. Try to pull open side to side in your heart space. Let your heart beat forward. Open your throat. Maybe close your eyes as you gaze up. Come on back to the center, eyes forward, arms long and loose, reach and rise. Holding onto your left wrist, as you tip to the right, we're gonna lift again out of our right side body and then re-tip. Beautiful job. Let's flash lights with our left hand as dynamically as you can. Open and close, maybe fast. Nice work. Keep stretching open. Let's try 8 more of these big squeezes and releases. 5, 3. Well done, yogis. Soften that hand. Let some of that spiciness out. And then take eyes towards right baby toe. Reach off on that diagonal. Breathe and stretch into your lower back. Breathe under your left shoulder blade. Come on back to the center. Release your hands behind your low back. You can give them another shake if they need it. And then clasp your left thumb on top. Stretch away from your tailbone. We're gonna try to lift our thumbs, push our knuckles down. Give me a big smile in your collarbones, breathing under them to create space. As you come back forward, yogis, reach your arms to me, and we're gonna turn our palms up. Okay, we're shoulder circling, but we're not moving our hands. So I'm gonna come a little closer to you so you can see. Okay, as we shoulder circle, let's shrug up, pull shoulders back and down, drop shoulders, push them forward, up, back, and down. So here's what we don't wanna do. See how my hands are moving? Okay, so we're gonna try to manipulate just our shoulder joint. Fingers are soft. Lift up, back, and down. Now your hands will move a tiny bit, but they're staying pretty consistently level. Go in the easier way first. We're thinking of coming deep within our socket, coating every little nook and cranny with some beautiful synovial fluid. Well done. Take one more big circle back. Reach your arms to rise. Shrug your shoulders down and let them fall and release. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. Let's bring our left thumb forward and reach all the way to the sky. Turning your palm out to the side, reach all the way back behind you. Thumb is back forward. We turn our palm out to circle. Okay, yogis. Notice how my chest and my navel are staying pretty forward. We want to keep it that way. So again, working just the shoulder as opposed to this one, where I use my whole hip and spine, right? Okay, let's take two more. Beautiful job. Backwards is always easier. Try that right arm. Thumb forward, turn palm out, back and down. And sometimes it's nice to put your hand on your chest or your belly as that reminder, stay forward torso. I usually have a soft bend in my knees here, so we feel really stable yet soft. Taking notice of which arm gives us a little more mobility challenge than the other. Well done, yogis. Clasp your hands in front of your chest. Take your palms to me. Let's pull all of our fingernails back towards our chest. Tucking chin down and rounding into an angry cat. Holding this or feeling free to wiggle here and there. Finding some spaces open up in our vertebrae. In the back of our ribs. Breathe and fluff up your kidney band. Let your hands fall. Keep that angry cat. We're going to plant them right on our thighs and push to straight arms. Feel a tractioning of our spines here. Your shoulders will creep up towards your ears. Hopefully you don't have slippery pants like me. It can be a little challenge to keep your hands here. And then we'll puff our back again. Angry cat. Let your hands slide a bit down. Pull on your thighs to bring your belly forward. Cow. Opening our navel, chest, throat, lifting our tailbone. One more round. Angry cat. Inhale, cow. Rolling yourself through angry cat, rolling to rise. And once you get a nice big backward shoulder roll, sweep your palms to me again. Let's draw shoulder blades back and down. We're going to try to roll forward. Same as we did before. Shoulders shrug up. Push forward. This one's hard. Pull down. And a roll back. Lift, push, drop, pull. Okay, now instead of making it squarish, can we make it super soft, smooth, and round? Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm here trying to do this. My chin is moving, my body's moving, so we're gonna really try to work this just inside our shoulder joints with the most minimal hand movement possible. Hang in, we've got 4 more of these. Hands are really moving on my side here. How are you doing? I'm trying, but this is a hard direction. Well done, let's let that go. Hands shake out, loosen your body up. We're gonna try to go forward with the arms. Let's start with palms in. Circle back and swivel your palm out, right? So palm comes out here. Then we come up, swivel palm back in. Thumb is facing forward to begin. Thumb back, palm out, circle up. Thumb up, palm in. Let's try 2 more of these. These are really challenging. Chest and belly stays forward. We're working into our joints, trying to isolate our shoulder and hip joints today specifically. Start with your right hand when you're ready. Okay, here we go, yogis. I have to think about this one. This is hard, isn't it? All the way up, back, and around. Don't forget to turn your palm. Palm in, thumb up. Palm out, thumb down. Couple more here. Try to keep your chest forward. I need that reminder there. Hand towards chest. If it starts to turn, just try again. So if you felt like you really butchered one of them and you need one more, go ahead. Keep it forward. That was me. Beautiful job. Let's let our shoulders loose, hands loose, roll and release. Okay, big breath in. Arms rise, release all the way back out wide. Try that again. Loosen up your arms. Big breath in. As you breathe out this time, let's forward fold and just take a moment to start to work breath into our lower backs. As you're hanging, yogis, let your shoulders and upper body be loose. Give your head a really emphatic no shake. No way, Jose, kind of a thing. Nope. This is what we're going to say to any plans we really don't want to do this weekend, okay? Nope, no thanks. But then gently we'll say yes. Yes to the yoga, yes to the breath work, yes to the mobility and the flow. All right, working some kinks out of our neck. Let's lift up halfway. Take a big breath in. You can use your hands on your knees, your thighs, or your shins. But let's find the longest line from tailbone to top of head, like you took an iron and moved all the wrinkles out of your spine. From here, twist towards the right side, eyes over right shoulder, right hand to hip. Maybe move your left hand over to your right outer thigh. Right arm around your low back, eyes keep swiveling. And if you feel great, you'll lift your right arm to the sky. Big breath in. Let's release our eyes first, yogis. Eyes to the floor. We're staying in our halfway fold. Release right hand back to hip. And let's bring the left hand to our hip. Right hand reaches to right calf first. Take a little peek over your left shoulder. Right arm reaches to left calf, helping you twist a bit bigger, more looking left. Left arm, low back, press your forearm in and down. And if you feel great, stretch to the sky, elongate as you connect with your breath. Fingers a little wiggly and loose up ahead. Eyes down towards the floor. Left hand to hip, right hand to hip. You're in halfway lift. Bend your knees a lot and roll or hinge yourself to stand. Beautiful work, yogis. Heels underneath your hips, bones. Left knee rises. Let's give it a hug. You can hold it under your thigh, under your kneecap, or I like to go over the shin. And we want no shoulders here. Lots of elbow bending, lots of strong hand usage. Your neck feels really long and lifted through the sides. All right, right arm opens. That's our balancing arm. You put it wherever it feels balancing for you. We'll just take a little stroll with our knee. Open and close your left knee. Lift and lower. Circle it around. Okay, now we're going no hands. So you feel really steady, whether that be hands here at your waist, wide or overhead. As soon as you find free arms, you'll tip-top through your knee. Let's take a few with really pointed left toes. Wide, cute, open yogi toes, like each webbing could hold a pencil. And then flex for a few, really pulling toes up to shin. Now, yogis, see my hips, how they're not moving, right? So this is not what's happening. A little push, a little push. We're trying to stay real steady in our hips. If that's a big challenge for you, take your hands and squeeze them in. I know you're getting very spicy in that left thigh, me too. Take a second, I believe in you. You can do this. One more. Okay, hold. Now, if you need to release, you do. Arms are still long. You're gonna flex foot and pull left calf up towards your nose. Nice job. Bring it out to the side. Pull that calf behind your right knee. Well done. Inhale out to the side, hovering figure four. Whoop, did you see my hip try to kick out? Keep it steady. You can do this. Out to the left side. Shiva squat. We pull it behind the right knee, and you can optionally bend your right knee. Now the hip will kick a little. Inhale. Exhale, hovering figure four. Beautiful job. Come on, try again. Inhale. Shiva squat, knee bends or not, you choose. One more, yogis, breathe in. Out. In. Out. Next time you catch your knee, hold it, relax your shoulders. Let go of your facial features that started to grimace with all that hip work. And we're standing for cradle the baby. So let's try to pull our calf towards our nose again, but this time with the help of our hands. Really nice. So this is more passive work because we are using our hands to get here. Active work, trying with only the muscles in our legs, much harder. Flex your foot. You can move around a little bit. Well done with your balancing. You're almost done. One more big squeeze. Cradle your baby towards your chest and let it go, yogis. So your hip flexor's feeling very spicy, I know. We're gonna stretch it out, give it a rub. Yeah, you can also take your knuckles and just do tiny little bang, bang, bangs. Releases really nicely. Take a long step back with that left leg. Let's get out of that hip. Once you're back, tilt your pelvis forward and then let it be free. I'm gonna show you from the side. This is really gonna release you here. Tilt by bending back knee, let it be free. Try a couple more, tilt, release, tilt, and release. Let's let the left knee fall. You might want something soft underneath of here. And we're gonna shift our hips back so we have two 90-degree bends. We're not forward just yet. 90 degrees, nice. Left arm rises high, stretch open your ribs, and tip over to your right side. Really long in your right ribs as well. Right fingers fall. How big can you create this big like alligator yawn? So smart, really wide, very lifted, filling your body with breath. A beautiful posture for you today. Come on, forward and down with the fingers. Now let your hips melt and go like this. You can always have your hands high or rest them on your thighs and just try to release that poor old left hip. Feel okay? All right, if you need more, you stay. Let's shift our hips back. Step forward into fold, and you decide if you're gonna roll to rise or hinge. I know it's scary when you know what's coming, yogis. Take a big breath in. Sometimes it's good to not know. Hug into your right knee. Relax your shoulders so we're not here. We're just chilling. Cool as a cucumber in our facial expression. Give another little squeeze in. You can hold from anywhere. And when you're ready, we're opening our arms. So let's just go left arm first. That way we can play a bit. A little mobility help with the right hand. Open and close your knee. Lift and lower your knee. If it's not too awkward, you can try to circle around here. Just enjoy yourself. Do anything that feels really good. And then we go hands free. Uh-oh. This one might be a troublesome side. I don't know about you, but it definitely is for me. You feeling good? All right, let's tick-tock. We're pointing first, but all webbing is wide. Tick-tock, heel out. Tick-tock, heel in. Remember, yogis, if you can't feel, since we don't have any mirrors in yoga, where your hips are, take your hands to them and just make sure your fingernails are staying straight forward. We don't want any sass in our hips just now. Flex your foot for a few of these tick-tocks. Beautiful. Internal rotation, external rotation. Well done. I know, big open mouth exhalation. Let that heat go. One more. Okay, just hold. Take a huge exhalation. Are you okay? Do you need a break? Let your foot fall if you do. No shame in that game. When you're ready, we're gonna pull in with our calf muscle. Think cradle the baby. And we're crossing over the left knee. Open knee out, pull in with the calf, cross behind the left knee. Inhale here. Exhale, hovering figure four. Inhale. Shiva squat. Now we really get into the squat when we bend our left knee. You decide if that's for you today or not. Inhale. Exhale. Try again. Soften your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. I know it's hard work, but we can be soft in our fingers, soft in our arms. I believe in you. Inhale, exhale. Try one more, yogis. We're gonna capture it this time. Once it comes all the way up and in, cradle the baby. Try your hands. See what happens. Feels so good, right? Keep your foot very strongly flexed, so we're protecting the joints here. And see how much you can hug your baby up towards your heart. Some people might like to do a little twisting and turning, a little pulling up or circling, whatever feels good. Okay, are we ready to get out of this hip flexor or what? Let's release very slowly. Give your knee a hug. Release. I know, open mouth exhalation. Give a little rub or maybe a little knuckle bang on your hip flexor. When you feel pretty good, we'll relax more. Step your right leg back. Bending into your knees, both knees, your back knee bends to scoot your hip flexor forward. Very nice. And then push your heels straight, long and strong. Bend and tilt, tailbone down. Push away, release. So good. Tuck under. That's better. Beautiful work. Tuck. Release, land soft. Get cozy if you want something soft under that knee. And shift back so you have 90-degree knees. Hips are lifted, engaged. Right arm sweeping to the sky. As you tip to your left side, let your left arm be long, but lift out of that armpit. It's as far from your ribs as you can make it. And then open. Maybe it's like a hippopotamus size, this time really gigantic. Stay low in your hips, squeezing front heel to back knee. Take a big, beautiful breath in, and then come back to the center. Hands anywhere, hips drip, and melt, and release. That work, you can feel yourself getting really heated, right? So another really cool way to cool yourself off, literally a cool way to do this, is by rolling your tongue, if you can do that. Roll it so it's a little tunnel, and you breathe in and out through that. If you can't roll your tongue, you can take the teeth together, top and bottom teeth together, and it might make a little noise, but you suck in that way. Cool, right? It'll cool you off much more quickly. I love that. All right, so shift back. Let's step forward and fold. Hang really heavy, yogis, and take your time rising here. Let's find extended mountain pose. We're gonna flow. All the hard hips work is done. Celebrate and release. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time here, a little tick-tock side to side. Bear with me, I'm just making sure everyone's muted. And you might take a little spin side to side, fingers around towards your pinky toes. Knees as bent as you need them to accommodate your tight hamstrings. I like to bend so much that I have a little shelf for my chest to rest on that feels really supportive. And when you feel ready, yogis, come back to the center, nose between your toes, and step your right leg back. Let's find a super long, drippy hip lunge. And just as quickly, we'll straighten both legs, wide pyramid pose. Soften down into your low lunge. If you'd like to start warming your wrists up, you'll tent your finger pads as you move through lunge and wide pyramid. We are thinking of pulling our finger pads towards one another. Inhale down, exhale up. Let's optionally add on a cow-cat. Cow as you're in your lunge, cat as you're in your wide pyramid. Inhaling, drop. Exhaling, curl up. Two more, inhale. All right, now we're gonna stay on the next one in this pyramid pose, but I want you to be comfy. So if wide is too much of a struggle, step your back foot in any amount. Most importantly, yogis, let's consider squaring our hips. Your hips are gonna wanna open to your right side. So we will squeeze our inner thighs together. Try to take our right hip point forward and optionally rolling through undulating cobras. Think about rolling angry cat back up, flat back down, almost like a cow. Exhale, roll to rise. Inhale, float down. Two more through your spine here. As we stay still in our upper body, we'll lift our left toes, the front foot. And if that doesn't feel good on your heel, don't worry about it. Take it away. You might like to take your tailbone for a little smiley sway, like you're carving out the shape of a smile here. Taking one more big breath in. On that exhalation, let's plant our left foot down. Step your right leg way far back into that lunge again. Kneel and bring your knees together. Knees together, we're gonna walk hips back to heels and stretch fingers way far forward, extended child's pose. Now, if you are pregnant or you just feel like you ate and it doesn't feel good, you can always widen your knees, let your belly fall. But I would like for them to try to be together in the beginning so we can give ourselves a big hug, thighs to belly. Really supportive. We are pushing our spine up and away with this big hug. And while you're in child's pose, yogis, you're gonna widen your hands, palms are flat, but then you'll flex your wrists, pull your fingers back towards your skull. So you're making stop signs forward. Land palms flat, come to finger pads and tense. Palms flat, fingers pull back to skull. Palms flat and tense. One more round like this, flat, fingers back. Flat, tent and pull. Awesome job. Come on to tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We are starting wrists here with fists. Make a fist, but then put the back of your hands down and your knuckles will interlace together. Okay, just in case you're confused about that, I'm going to show you up close. Knuckles interlace, but the backs of your hands are down. So you're looking at your fingernails. And we'll bend our elbows. Take a little tiny push-up, but roll your knuckles towards the sky. Let your fingers come back, interlace your knuckles, bend elbows, roll knuckles towards the sky. All right, any breath works, yogis, just one per movement. Now, while you're doing this, please consider pushing the thumb pads deeply down onto middle or index finger knuckles. Ooh, two more, big breath in and out. One more, breath in and out. Awesome job. Now you might like to sit back on your heels, let your hands have that little shaky moment, or we can just open and close or circle. We got one more. You okay? All right, good. Come back to table, same thing we just did in child's. Our fingers are trying to pull back. It's not very easy. Pull back towards your nose. And then we're just lifting the heels of our hands here. Pull back towards your nose. Lift just the heels of your hands. All those big knuckles are staying down in your four fingers. Lift. All right, so how quickly can you go? Back towards nose, lift heels of hands. Inhale, exhale. You can do one hand at a time. I know it's challenging. Do whatever makes you feel really good. Two more. Awesome job, yogis. These are everyday exercises. Let the backs of your hands fall. Get really wrinkly on your inner wrists. Wiggle out through your fingers. Let's move a little side to side. All right, and then if you're feeling spicy, one more challenge here. We're gonna try to sit our heels and hips together. Can you shift back? Doesn't go very far, does it? Keep opening the top of your wrist. One more big breath. Whew, all right, enough of that. Sit back, have a second. Let your hands be really soft. Wiggle them around, circle them around. And when you're ready, yogis, we come to downward facing dog. Make sure your hands are ready. Feel good? Okay, let's lift. Now you might like to turn your index fingers just a tiny bit out to the left and right side. Create a little more opening in your shoulders and widen your collarbones. Any movements that feel super delicious here, maybe some knee bending and straightening. We'll come together in our movements in just a minute. For now, explore. You might be exploring stillness and how to move your breath through your body. Whatever you're doing, stay present. Give yourself this time you so deserve. All right, let's come together, yogis. Lift your heels, please. Step your feet out about 1 footprint width wider each side. Swivel your heels to the left and just hold. Keep pressing your chest back towards your right knee, but then start to pulse your left hip towards the floor. Just kind of pulling deeper into your right side body stretch. One more. Maybe one more. Feels good, doesn't it? Come back to the center. Both heels rise. You're still wide in your feet. Heels will fall to the right, and then we just push back gently. Stay still. Chest towards your left knee. Start to pulse now, yogis. Right hip down. and up just a few inches. Nice stability and mobility for our ankles here. I like to watch that right ankle start to tuck in a little bit. 3. Extra credit if anybody wants it. Nice, come back to the center. Let's push back deeply into our dogs, head through elbows, chest to thighs. Look at your fingers and tiptoe your way forward, hanging heavy in your fold. Bring the backs of your hands again, either to the floor or to your legs somewhere. Give your wrists a little relaxation. Roll yourself to rise when you feel ready, or you're always welcome to hinge, flat back to the sky. Big stretch up, clasping again, flipping palms, same as we did before. Fingernails, all, including your thumbs, are pulling down towards your skull. Big tip to the right side, soften your knees. Left foot steps behind, we take a bigger tip. Come on back to the center, inhale. Right foot steps behind. Big tip left. Soften your knees, a bigger stretch. So good. To the center we go. Let's let the arms come down, but then right back up. Shake them free. Hands behind your head. We're still clasped. Behind our head this time. Okay, as you stand here, knees soft, buns tight. Squeeze your butt. Push back for a little back bend. Elbows super, super wide. Flaring open in your chest. You might feel your navel lifting and opening. That's so good. And we've got a little bun squeeze here to protect our low back. Pressing with the palms into your skull. Pressing back with the skull into your palms. Fighting the good fight, strengthening and opening. Eyes back to me, chin tucks. Bring your elbows forward. And now we're going to stay lifted, yogis, but we will tuck our chin towards our chest. Hang heavy. Here goes that good fight again. A little push up with the skull. A little pulling down with the palms. Think about lifting from the top of your shoulder blades, so you're staying lifted in your torso and body. And then breathe deeply through the back of your neck, in between your shoulder blades. Eyes look back forward, no pressure on the skull, fingers wide and wiggling. Dive forward and down, hinge or roll. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, release back to fold. Take that long lunge, long, with your left leg, yogis. Let your knee bend to hover, and then straighten into this extra wide pyramid. Bend in, straighten up. So I'm working on those tented fingers. If you do that, you're gonna think about pulling your fingers towards one another, like you're gonna make a ball with the mat and hold it in the palm of your hand. Optionally adding in our cow as we drop to lunge, and our cat, roll up as we find that big pyramid. Inhale, navel drops. Exhale, middle spine rises. Find 2 more. Take as much time in each posture today as you think feels good. No time to rush. We're here to luxuriate in our body. And next time you find your pyramid, hold it. But feel free to step in or wide, whatever feels good for you to really play with your hips. So we want to dump that right hip off to the side. And we're going to try to control that by squeezing our inner thighs together. Both knees are micro bent, but the left hip point is coming forward. When you get really cozy, would you like to try some undulations through your spine? We would take our flat backs a little lower, 1 inch or 2. And then curl up and roll to rise. Flat back down. Roll to rise, exhale. Inhale, lower. Holding any pyramid that feels really nice. Optionally, yogis, lifting through your right toes. And as you lift your right toes, you may also like to consider a little sway with your tail. It'll tick-tock your toes around a little bit. I really love this because then you feel that movement left to right over the back of your right leg, yeah? Feel your hamstring kind of getting a little release. One more big breath. Beautiful work. Let's then back into lunge. You might have to step back if you made it really long or really short, excuse me. And we'll drop our knees, this time wide in this child's pose. So we're thinking about breathing our ribs into the inner thighs here. And as you get stretched out long with your arms in extension, take a prayer, palms together, pinky fingers down, thumbs towards the sky. Drop your elbows on the mat and then bring the thumbs to the nape of your neck. Walking the points of your elbows forward as you drag your body back towards your heels. You might be able to do another little walk forward if it feels good, stretching under your shoulder blades and in the back of your upper arms. And when you feel pretty good with that stretch, release the prayer. Let the palms come flat again. Take one more breath in your extended child. And roll up to tabletop. All right, yogis, tuck toes. Rising into angry cat in a hovering knee if you can. Hover your knees, maybe an inch, maybe two, but no more. Drop your navel. You can always drop knees, find it, and then lift to hover. Or we can stay hovering as we roll through our cat-cows today. This is also known as turbo tabletop. You can tell why, right? Our thighs are on fire. Let's try 2 more cat-cows of any variation. Drop back down to tabletop. Whoa, tuck your toes. Let's widen our stance. Lift the downward facing dog. And we're gonna get a little flow on, yogis. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Lift into 3-legged dog. Any height is great. Look at your thumbs. Try to crunch knee under body and step between your thumbs. Let's swivel our left foot down. Roll open to warrior 2. We're gonna move a little quickly. So don't worry too much about looking a certain way. Just worry about feeling good. Feeling wide open in warrior 2. Windmill your hands back down. Left heel rises. Same thing. Right leg up and back. We are in the same leg, 3-legged dog. Look forward, step forward. Finding warrior 1 this time. Left foot down. Let's think about lifting our chest and just seeing, can we twist it over the right knee? It's okay if the answer is no. Wherever your chest lands is great for today. Big breath in. If you're somewhere between forward and over the right knee, you're in 1.5. Congrats. Big breath in. Release to lunge. Frame that right foot. Push back. 3-legged dog again. Let's look back forward. Step, same leg. Windmill. Warrior 2. Just going back and forth between the 2. But we'll reverse our warrior 2 this time. Right arm up. Let the left arm be super dainty back there. It's loose, it's long. Finding our warrior 2 again. Windmill down, push back, 3-legged dog, right leg. One more, yogis. Let's find warrior 1. Step between the thumbs. 1 or 1.5, wherever your chest likes to go. Arms rise. Clasping your hands behind your low back, right thumb on top, stretch open. Chest, heart, and throat. One more big breath in here. Release the hands down to the floor. Frame your right foot. Push back, 3-legged dog. And as you arrive, bend your heel towards your butt. Heel comes towards the left. Knee opens towards the right. Let's feel really beautifully open in our right hip. Maybe even our right side body. One more breath in here. Knee comes back to the floor, 3-legged dog. Tap your toes down. Let's land in kneeling, knees touching. And you'll sit right down on the backs of your heels. You feel okay? All right, fingers behind you. Whatever makes your shoulders feel happy, any swivel of your hands. Lift up under your chest again, big lift. Now you can keep your butt down where you are, or if you'd like, push out of your hands and lift your hips. Some folks are able to put their hands on their heels. They lift their butt and put their hands on their heels and then lift. I feel like that's really, really awkward for me, so I like my hands on the floor. Whatever works, yogis. We're stretching out our quads. One more big breath in. And when you're ready, we find down dog again. Round 2, downward facing dog, moving on into the left leg. Take all the wiggles, the shimmies. Now you can get sassy in your hips. Let them shake loose. And when you feel pretty darn good, lift your left leg, inhale. As you exhale, look where you'd like to land, just about thumb height. Step forward, swivel right foot down. Open your chest and your hips to the long side of your mat. Just feel spacious, fill up with beautiful new breath. Windmill down, right heel rises, push back, three-legged dog, right up, yogis, left leg high. As you look back forward and step, we'll just turn our toes out a little bit on the right side this time. Warrior one. If your chest is not quite facing your left knee, it's more on the diagonal, we call this 1.5. It's a really nice variation. Our hips are not all the same, our bodies aren't all the same, so each posture will look different between all of us. Release to lunge, push back, three-legged dog. As you step forward this time, take a big exhale. Inhale, opening a windmill into warrior two. Super light float down with right arm. Very energetic lift up with your left. Beautiful expression. One more breath here. Come back to warrior two. Turning the corner. Frame left foot, lunge to three-legged dog. Just one more, yogis. Let's look forward, step again, back to 1 or 1.5. And as soon as you feel pretty good here, let's clasp our hands, left thumb on top. Stretch open in your chest. Feel your navel and your ribs all expanding. Going for one more big breath in. I like to rise before I release, but we're getting down again. Framing the left foot. Push back for a final three-legged dog today. Heel towards your butt this time. Heel to the right, knee opens to the left. Another big yawn. Taking one more huge breath in. And as you release, knee to the floor, toes long, both feet down. We're gonna walk our hands back to our big toes. So you're at the back edge of your mat now. And you can bend your knees as much as you need, but we're gonna find hands under feet. The most traditional way is palms up, yogis. We take a footprint on top of our palms. We'd like to have our toes on the wrist creases. And then hang your head heavy, you're in a gorilla pose. This probably goes without being said, but just so you know like the Mr. Spock fingers where you have your middle and index together and your ring and pinky? That's usually kind of what I do, so you're not stepping on your finger pads. You're really stepping on like the heel of your hand and up towards your wrist here. Now you're welcome to stay, or we can try one final wrist. We're gonna take our hands out, and for those of you that like to try it, we're gonna spin our fingers to face our toes, palms down. I know, that's weird, palms down. And then we're gonna slide the backs of our hands under for this gorilla variation. Super cool. And in no matter what variation you're in, you can roll your toes from baby toe to big toe, like rolling over your hands. I like it better when you step on the back of your hands because it doesn't bother you if your bones aren't crunching into the ground. So try it and see if you like it. All right, let's get back into our hippies. We're gonna take a little release of our hands, walk all the way back out into a plank pose. From our plank, we'll push back to our downward facing dog. Lift our left legs again, a big breath in, yogis. Knee crunches back to chest, and we swivel shin towards the short end of our mat to settle down into modified pigeon. Modified means that we have both knees bent at 90 degrees. This is such a nice one. Okay, now I would love for you to be somewhere that you feel like you don't need your hands, right? And if you do, that's okay. In that case, you'll take something either under your hand to help you sit up or under your left cheek so you can sit a little bit taller, not here. We're gonna try to sit up. Beautiful. With our 90 degrees, both of our thighs are at 90 degrees, our knees and our ankles. So we have 90 everywhere. Awesome. Now today, you're twisting to the left. Sit up tall. Breathe. Good. Exhale and twist to the left. This might be all you do. It's okay. If you're able, we're going to try to walk out here. It's a big twist, I know. A lot of hips. All right, yogis, last but not least, If you've twisted off to this left side and you're feeling pretty low, like you can get down, your final add-on is left hand reaching farther from your hips, reach it out, and then try to thread your right arm under. A little twisted pyramid, thread the needle. Stay long from the crown of your head towards your tailbone. Sometimes we end up leaning off to the right side. We're not side bending here. Stay very long and straight. And then think about swiveling internally right around your spine, like a little hug. Noticing your body moving in reaction to your breath, a little rise, a little fall. And when you're ready to unthread that, we'll come back up, seated really tall. And then this time, frame out your left knee, the more normal variation of this. Then you'll probably feel like you can fall. If you get to your forearms, turn them towards the sky. Just hanging out here, a little variation of our sleeping pigeon. If you're just itching to extend that back leg, go for it. You can extend it out nice and long now. If you do though, yogis, I would like for you to make sure it's right between your cheeks, so it's not kicked off to one side. We have it really long, directly out from our tailbones. Taking another couple breaths in your pigeon. Lots of things can happen here. Your knee can bother you. If you feel any knee twinging, let's work on our ankle. If it was pointed, flex it, and vice versa. And if you just feel like you're really open in your hips, we can always put that little support, maybe a pillow or a sweatshirt under left cheek. So we feel like we're rolling right hip point down into the ground. One more really nice breath in here. And on your exhalations, let's use our hands to bring us back up. Sit on your left cheek and swing your feet straight forward. Both legs straight. Give them a little shake. Your hands can be down or up. All right, once you feel really good, we're going in the other direction. But I like to find dog first. So if you don't mind, you're welcome just to come to the knees bent to the right side. But if you don't mind, let's come back. We'll find that down dog. Give another opportunity for a little shimmy and shake free. Then we'll lift our right leg. Big breath in. Need a nose, a little chia crunch, and you'll swing your shin forward, landing on your right cheek. So you can bring your left knee to 90 degrees. You can make as many or as less angles as you want, but we're looking for the 90 in our ankles, our knees, both of them, and our thighs from one another. Pretty cool, right? And once you get a little further apart, you might feel like you could sit up with no hands. Okay, now if you need your hands, that's all right, just stay where you are. Let's work on sitting tall. Some support can be under your right hand to help you sit tall or your right cheek. But if you feel pretty good here, we're gonna twist ourselves to the right, outside your right thigh. Can you breathe here? Beautiful. So if you're breathing easy and you're feeling pretty calm, then you know you can add on. That's you. We're gonna try a little thread the needle. Ready? Left arm comes under. I usually like to walk my right hand a bit further away. Try to thread on under there. Right away, you're gonna notice that you try to side bend. So lift out really long and then internally swivel around your spine. One of the most noticeable times you're breathing, you're rising, you're releasing, you're twisting a little bit more deeply. Taking your time here. If you feel too intense, you get a good indicator that it's too intense if you can't breathe or you end up holding and clutching your breath. If it's flowing, stay for another breath. And then we get to have all the fun. Let's rise out of this crazy twist. Bring our hands over to frame our right knee, and then we'll settle down into this modified sleeping pigeon. Okay, so let's think whether or not we want to extend our left legs. If you're happy as a clam, don't do a thing. But if you're just really wanting that back leg to be extended, go for it. And you can stay in your diagonal version or come over your right shin in any way. Making sure we're just out from our tailbone and that long extension right through the midline here. and that our right knee is feeling pretty good. If not, make a change to how you're flexed or pointed in your right foot. Our goal, yogis, as we breathe, is to think about bringing our left hip point down to plug in, recharging our hips. You might be hovering a little out of your right cheek. Let's soften up through our jaw. Maybe even consider dropping our chin to our chest and letting our foreheads hang heavy. Drip tension off your nose, your eyelashes, your earlobes, and your cheekbones. One more really slow breath in. Using our exhalations to help us rise, and we'll sit on our right cheeks to pull our left legs in, and then just straighten your legs. Let them be free, whether you tick-tock or jiggle. Might look like you're throwing an adult-sized tantrum. That's okay. We're just trying to shake out. All right, now that we've worked our hips today, we're gonna go for one more mobility challenge. So you'll bring your feet flat and your knees to the sky, and there's no hands. There's no hands, I know. Oh, by the way, it's 1:55, so if you have to go, my recommendation would be to turn the table and roll yourself on out. If you're staying, you get to do the mobility challenge. Bye, yogis, if you're leaving. Okay, so our challenge is pretty straightforward. We're just gonna try to roll into these modified pigeons without the use of our hands. So we sit tall, really tall, and we stay tall as we rotate. Good? All right, not so bad, yeah? Cool. Here's what we don't wanna do though. These. We wanna come out of our spooky season. Yeah, we wanna be straight and strong and confident here. Now, if you feel great, we're gonna try to lift the back leg inner arch. Stay lifted, because what wants to happen is a collapse. So we're gonna stay up, rotate inwards in that hip socket. Release, nice. Roll. You're gonna probably walk all the way off your mat. That always happens to me too. Lift that inner arch, try to stay lifted, soften your arms. I'm gonna sit back because I'm gonna roll right off the screen in a sec. Roll, optionally lift, release, lift, and switch. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Move at your pace. Working on a little hip mobility here. Remember, we're making those 90 degrees, right? So as we move around, we might notice that we get all clunky and touch one another. We want to be nice and open and free. Okay, let's try 2 more. If you're loving the challenge, we're gonna add on. All right, yogi. So instead of lifting the next time, we're gonna switch to the right side and then lift our hips all the way up. So you still have your right shin down, your left shin down, but your hips are off. Nice. Settle back, lift, switch. How far did you move off your mat? Lift your hips. Okay, so we're gonna try 4 more of these, and that'll be it with our mobility today. I'm very proud of you. These don't feel super great if you're on a hard wood, but if you have something cozy like a carpet in your bedroom or a nice cushiony gym floor at your facility, that's a great place to do these. We're gonna end on the left. You're welcome to do more, but make sure you end on the left so you get an even number for your hips. And then we finally get to settle our hands back down. Let's stay with our left knee forward, and we're gonna lift our hips here. Left hand down. I usually like to hold my hip, and then when you feel lifted in your spiral, you'll stretch your arm to the sky. Maybe cradle behind your skull, push back with your head, opening your chest and your shoulders. One more big breath in here. Lots of squeeze from your backside will help you open your front side. Settle on back down. You can do it with hands this time, yogis. Let's switch sides. Right hand behind you. I always cradle the left hip because I feel like it might pop. It just feels a little compromised when you start. Yeah, and if you're good, then you stretch it to the sky. Open long with the left arm or cradling behind your skull. Moving around as it feels nice. Breathing for sure, all the way down through your left hip flexor. And when you're ready, you'll drop down. We'll tuck our feet behind us, knees in front for a little tabletop. And let's move through a circular cat-cow to finish. Exhale, roll into angry cat. Look up towards your navel. Push your ribs left. Drop your navel down. Lift your chin and your tail for cow. Hello. Push your ribs to the right. Roll up through angry cat. Exhale. Now let's make it really smooth. Down through cow. Up through cat. Switch directions. Let's start pushing out the right ribs. Pushing out the left ribs. One more beautiful round. Inhale. And exhale. Tucking your toes under. Hands are going to stay pushing down. So we have this great crouch. We're going to lift our knees, yogis. Oh, I love this stretch. Feeling hopefully the back of your ankles. Some people have to walk their hands closer. We really want to deeply push into this crouch. Feeling the bottoms of your feet, stretch into your Achilles tendon. I look forward to this one all day. This is so nice. Big breath in. And when you're ready to exhale, let's lift our hips into forward fold. Your inhalation will take you to a rise. We're going to stretch all the way to the sky, finishing just like we started with a big, beautiful breath in. And let's bring hands to heart center, thumbs connect with our heartbeat. Boost your heart up into your thumbs. Chin tucks down a little bit out of your amazing practice to the time you set aside for your health and wellness. And I'm bowing deeply to you. My light honors yours. I'm humbled by you, inspired by you, and so grateful for you. Namaste, yogi.